Hi, I'm Dina Stewart.
And I'm Stuart Stewart.
And we're alive on South Beach.
And this is another episode with a little bit of this and a little bit of that. Miami has become such an international city that almost everybody stops by here at one time or another. And now I'd like you to meet one of my old friends who just happened to have been in town. Do you recognize this man? You wouldn't find him on a wanted poster in the post office, but you would probably see him on television if you're a fan of NYPD Blue. This is Lieutenant Tony Rodriguez.
Former lieutenant.
Or former Lieutenant Tony Rodriguez, but he's always been Esai Morales. And he's here in Miami just to pay a visit with us.
Dear old friends. How many years?
Oh, almost 30.
Oops. We don't want to say that on
true.
national television.
True, give away our ages.
That's right.
So anyway, I understand that you just had a newborn baby, yes, and that you're a daddy.
It's the greatest role I'll ever play in my life. It's pretty amazing that, you know, every time your kid smiles, it's like you've done something good. So I'm psyched. I have a happy child. So.
Well, that's great. And what about professionally? What else are you doing these days?
I have an independent film that I read the script of. A recipient of a scholarship of a foundation that myself, Jimmy Smith, Sonia Braga, and Felix Sanchez started in DC called the National Hispanic Foundation for the Arts. This young man won our scholarship 3 years, and he told me he had a script. And most of the time, you know, you think, okay, it'll be a nice effort, but, you know, not necessarily ready for prime time. Well, I read this script and I was blown away by its humanity, by its
what's the title?
It's specific. It's called Gun Hill Road.
It's
in the Bronx. In the Bronx, and it was shot in the Bronx on Gun Hill Road.
Hey, you're a Bronx boy.
I'm a Brooklyn-born, Bronx-bred.
I'm a Bronx boy.
Queens crucified in Manhattan Mainstream. That's my shtick, and I'm sticking to it. I read the script, and I agreed to play the father. Judy Reyes, who's wonderful in Scrubs, plays my wife, who's estranged when I come out of the joint. And then my son is played by a newcomer, Harmony Santana, who was a he when we started shooting and a she by the end of the production.
Wow.
Yes, a real live transgender teen going through transition. It was a needle in a haystack find for our director, but we made a film that not only opens eyes but hearts as well.
Okay, you came down here actually I like to think to visit us, but I know that you're working on a show. Can you tell us a little bit about it and where people could see it?
Okay, well, I have a web series that I also exec produce. The Gun Hill Road I exec produce as well, and this web series is called Los Americans, and it's a really cool show that you don't see enough of, where I play the head of the household of a middle-class Mexican-American family who's basically, you know, reaching for the American dream, and things don't go so well for them. What you don't see a lot of times is people in my background, Latino, living normal lives, you know, not being, you know, the maid or the ancillary character. So I'm really proud of this show because it's funny, but it has a social component as well. And at the end of the show, you can look at the sidebar, and if you have any issues or know someone who needs help, it provides links to organizations that are designed to help you with those areas. So it's not just entertaining, it's actually also socially relevant to help people, and it has a real interactive aspect in that way. Also, I'm about to do an arc on a wonderful show on USA. Cable's the place to be now for good drama, called Fairly Legal. I'm going to play a district attorney who's a bit of a politician, and I go up against Michael Trucco, the great Michael Trucco from Battlestar Galactica. And I don't know if you know, but I also did a wonderful show that was canceled called Caprica, which was a prequel.
Yeah, I like that one.
That was a great show, prequel to Battlestar Galactica, and it's just a sad state of affairs when intelligent television doesn't get a shelf life, but things like the Jersey Shore go on for years and years. Go figure.
You see, that's what makes you unique from a lot of other actors. Everything that you're in, when you have the opportunity, has something that leaves the audience to think about.
I'd like to. I'd like to.
And that is being a real artist. The other is just being an actor.
Listen, sometimes if you can afford to choose your roles, it's nice to have a conscience about it and say, hey, am I helping the human condition with this, or is it, you know, exploiting it? And I'm just blessed to have the ability to choose things that, even if they're not very fancy, They're very heartfelt. Hey!
Hey, I'm not going to stay out of this one.
Oh, come on. I love you. Tina,
yeah, I'm good. I just want you to say alive on CyberLink, alive on South Beach.
Well, I don't know. I have to call my agent. But what do I tell him? I say, hi, guess what? Is it okay if I say, hey, folks, I'm alive on South Beach and Eastside Morales at that. Hi, I'm Eastside Morales and I'm alive at South Beach.
All right.
Is it alive at or alive on?
Alive on.
Guess what, guys? My name's Eastside Morales and I'm alive on South Beach.
We went to a very interesting event that Stuart participated in. Tell me, how did it make you feel?
Well, when I began, it made me feel isolated. But after it was all over, it was very enlightening because now I could understand what blind people go through.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We'd like to welcome you to the Ability Explosion event that we're having. Right now you're putting on your blindfolds and you will be presented with a menu that is full of foods that will excite all your senses. The idea is for you to have this opportunity to experience dining in the dark.
Keep your hands on the table. I need you to trail your fingers to find what you're looking for, or else it's going to get a little bit messy. You're all looking extremely nice. I don't want that to be ruined. When the waiter passes by, we will tell you where things are located using the clock method. Your glasses tube is at your 9 o'clock. The plate is at 12 o'clock, for example. Okay, please keep your fingers on the table, relax, and we will take your orders as soon as possible and get this thing rolling.
I'm standing here with Charlotte New, and Charlotte New's son is David, who is responsible for this event tonight, which is called, what's the name of the event? Okay, let's do it.
Ability Explosion.
Ability Explosion.
Okay.
And I am so very proud of my son. He wants to make a difference for people who think that since they have a disability, there's nowhere to go and there's no life to live. He's telling them that they have abilities that he should think about, that they should think about, and live up to that adequacy.
Well,
and everybody is so happy. They say that he turned their life around with tears in their heart. He made a difference for everybody.
This is David New, and David New has created an organization called the Ability Explosion. Could you explain a little bit about the organization?
Well, Ability Explosion is a series of events that takes place throughout Miami-Dade County each October to celebrate human ability and the abilities of people with disabilities.
And how do you celebrate this?
We celebrate it with events that appeal to the entire community, that teach people what it's like to be a person living with a disability in unconventional ways, like Lights Out Miami, which is dining in the dark county-wide.
Well, I tell you, I learned something tonight because I'm hearing disabled, and I wear 2 hearing aids just to get around. And for the first time, having to get around by listening to noises and by trying to figure out in my mind where everything is on the table was such a completely new experience, and it made me realize how valuable my eyes are. I'm an artist. I mean, without my eyes, I don't know if I would be an artist.
Well, I was an artist, I was a visual artist my whole life until I lost my sight. I was actually doing interior design work when I was 30 when I lost my sight. So when I lost my sight, I mean, that was my whole life.
So what did you do? I mean, how did you deal with that, and what were the steps that you took to put you back on a course that brought you to where you are now?
Well, my focus changed. You know, I had to figure out how to live my life and be healthy and accomplish the basic goals and needs that I had as a human being. There are so many resources available. There's no reason why people shouldn't be able to feel confident and independent today as a blind person, and I'd be happy to lead anybody in the right direction should they have any questions.
Well, that's a great offer for those that need it, and I advise everybody, speak to this man because you'll learn a lot about disabilities, and then they won't be disabilities anymore. They'll be assets.
Abilities.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Stuart.
Our next segment, I'm going to use a Shakespearean phrase, sort of paraphrased. Here's the rub. Let me know when you're ready. This is really the entrance way to a building. And somehow you figured out this would make a great massage parlor. And look at it, it looks wonderful. Where did you come up with the idea?
Well, I think that's something South Beach is not being in any place that kind of business or the service.
Well, this is a great added addition to Lincoln Road because not only can you have a great dinner, buy some interesting clothes, but before you do the shopping and the eating, you can stop by and do the relax.
Now Dina is having the four hands massage. Not everybody gets a four hands massage. Then not everyone's a television star.
Do you need big hands to be a masseuse?
No, you need big heart.
I mean, like,
and
look at the size of my hand. Can I be a masseuse?
Yeah, you can do. Because if you have a big heart, a good passion, you are a great massage therapist.
So Dina, how's it feel? Talk, communicate, talk to me. How's it feeling? They getting all the kinks out?
I don't want to talk.
Well, also, you know, when people come down for vacations, they're usually tense. So this should be the first stop. As soon as they get off the plane, drop off their bags, get into loose clothes, they should come here. And then they'll be able to enjoy the rest of their vacation.
Yeah, there you go. You are absolutely right.
So,
And then
you know,
people can also enjoy chair massage. They can also enjoy a chair massage at Massage Haven before they go back to that location. There's no reason to be stressed after vacation.
So there's a hint for people that want to know what are you supposed to do when you come down to South Beach? First thing you do is get a massage. And the last thing you do is get a massage.
And in between, come over and get a massage.
Okay, you heard it from Dina.
Somos Massage Haven. Estamos en vivo en South Beach.
Well, we've come to the end of another show. But before we sign off, we've been getting a lot of emails from people making suggestions on how we could improve the sound quality. Well, I reached out into the internet and I found a hero. It's a company called Audio Technica, and they have given us microphones which we're using right at this moment, and we will be using from now on. So all of those unnecessary noises that we've been hearing in the background all this time, we hope will be much dimmer, and we hope you pick up every gem that comes out of our mouths in the future. And this is Stuart Stewart.
And I'm Dina Stewart.
And this is the end of another episode of Alive on South Beach for syndicatednews.net.